you guys, it's your girl Chi-Town Blue here. How are you guys doing today? It is another installment of the List Alert, you guys. If you are a returning viewer, thank you so much for stopping by the page. If you are new to the channel, please consider subscribing by going below this video and hit that notification bell as well as that subscribe button. That way you get the new alerts when I do new uploads on Monday, Wednesday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. This is the segment of the A-list called Shock Value. So shock value is where I take different information from the celebrity world and give you guys the 411 on what's going on and give you a little commentary a little bit. So my PSA, let's get started, is on Eve. Yes, Eve, you are on the runway. I have got some juicy news for you guys about Eve. So allegedly, the RuffRyder's former First Lady feels that rap has turned into trash these days. So I'm going to start there. I'm going to just take a bit of what I have of her and just do my own commentary about it. That way you guys can feel where I'm coming from. Here's the thing with me. We have to go back in time, shall we? Go travel back in time with me. When DMX came out, there has to have been that conversation between the artist as well as the promotional department. How are we going to market DMX to the female market, the female consumer base? He has to be attractive. Yes, he has to be attractive. That's a part of it. You have to play on that. Could you imagine DMX having a beer belly with all the tattoos and having a George Jefferson haircut and putting that out on the market? Would he have made as much money in success as he had over the years? No, of course not. He had to be presentable to the female population. And we are sexual beings, period. And we all are grown in this, and we have to just hold ourselves accountable for what we do in that arena. So I'm looking at it like, okay, he's got the tattoos, he's got the bald head, he's very attractive, and he has a six-pack. And so the marketing team played up on that to attract the female demographic. You want us to spend money, you have to give us something to look at. So likewise, that conversation continued on, Eve, with you. You had to have that conversation. What are we going to do to market this ulterior self in Eve for DMX? Well, we want to bring in what? The men. And we don't want men to just look. We want them to spend money. So the lyrics had to be there. The sexuality had to be there. There is no possible way you would have been a part of the Curve Nation and gotten the recognition that you got without looking how you look. I mean, it's just the reality. Who else would have known about the paws on your chest if you didn't show them? And then the videos where the skirts got smaller, the tops got thinner, and the pants got tighter. I mean, you used every avenue to get the point across that not only were you a fire MC to DMX, but you also were just as sexy and attractive as DMX. So you played on that, and that kept your lights on. That kept the gas going on. It wasn't just your lyrics. You never once, I've never seen you in a pair of sweatpants. Never. So to come at it as now you created that path, and now you're telling the younger generation not to take that course or take it beyond where you were in your career. And I feel that that's wrong. You're at this mountaintop of success looking down at people who are on their grind. And how can you dictate another person's grind? If it worked for you, you know what I'm saying? If it worked for you, it worked for you. Like I said, I've never seen you look in a pair of sweatpants at all. And that's every video. Every video, you are not covered. And my thing is, if that's how you feel strongly, then why not create a pathway? Why not be the solution like Sierra and get your master's and start your own label and have a division that teaches girls about marketing and promotion? If you want every clone to dress up like in suits, make that believable. Make that something that can be transitioned out in the marketplace so that these fellas can open up their wallets and go to the concerts and support the craft. If you can't be a solution, there's no reason for you to highlight the problem. Because if you go back to even Salt and Pepper, that was their whole thing. Yes, we are sexy, but we're hot MCs. And so that's really, you really can't say much because you created it. You created that path with your presentation and how the marketing and promotion department put you out there on the marketplace. So she also said she feels it's about who can take off the most clothes or date the hottest male rapper for a come up. Ooh, I'm sorry. I'm here to let you know now. That's really like the pot calling the kettle black. It really is to me, because where you are right now, someone had to think of you in a certain way to get you where you are right now. You're specifically in a zone where you have dedicated your life to this person. And yes, you guys may be in love or what have you, but he did have an impact on your career at some point. I don't know, on a personal level, on a financial level, what have you. He still had an impact on where you are to get you into a certain arena where we as African American people would never have access to. And because you have that leverage, you cannot look down on other people who are trying to get to where you are. And I do believe that is a shot. That is a shot in the face of those people who supported your music. All these artists that you're talking about, these are people who looked up to you and who admired what you did as an MC. So you can't really downplay them because they decide to take what you created and take it to a whole nother level. And now you want to put morals on it. Well, that argument really doesn't fly with me. It really doesn't. So, in order for you to come back to reevaluate the whole entire marketing and promotion strategy, the better leverage that you would have is, again, if you created your own label and said, this is how I want it to be done, because we need it. We need it. We need that. We need that support. Because I have tons. I've ran my A-List Alert for about 2 years. And I have come across on numerous occasions MCs, female MCs, who are doing the work. They're doing the work. So I don't know where you're getting your information from, but you need to expand. You really do. You need to hit Baltimore. You need to get at me, because I have so many artists out here who, yes, are very attractive. They're using that as a marketing tool to get their message across. And some of them are doing it in a way that is classy, that's traditional, that it solidifies them as a business person that's taken seriously in their arena of entertainment, and they're doing it. So I don't know where you're looking at, because I see a whole lot of artists who are working 2 and 3 and 4 jobs just to make it, just to make that bag, and they're doing it legally. They're doing it legally. Yes, they're beautiful, and they're using their feminine charms to get them where they need to be, and I don't see anything wrong with that, in moderation. And there should be a moderation level, but that moderation level can only be dictated by that individual person, not someone who has made it off of her looks and her that got her in the door, and then what kept her was her talent. So it's really hard for me to even take that statement seriously. When you've had a rite of passage given to you based on who you're married to. And I'm just gonna say it. Because of who you married to, that elevated your access to a different realm that many of us African American women would not have access to. So, yeah. So, and then it says, she's waiting on the day when real rapping returns and people get back to the basics before she even considers returning to the female rap game. That's influence right there. That's influence right there. Because here's the thing with me. You have to expand, and you're doing an expansion. You went from rapping, which paid the bills, to acting, to now being a spokesperson on a major network. Those extra doors that are open to you came because of who you are connected to. And that's just the bottom line to it. So that's my little spiel on it. You know, you're part of the 1% now because of who you're connected to and who you're married to. And so that solidifies you into a certain realm that a lot of other MCs are trying to get to, but they don't want to sell out. So that's just my spill on it. I have a bunch of MCs, Eve, that are doing the work that it takes to make it, and they're not willing to compromise who they are, their integrity, their rapping, everything that they bring to the table is legit. And you need to expand your horizons. You really do. Because like I said, I've run the A-list for almost 2 years. And I know of dynamic women who are sexy in their own right, but who use it for their benefit and not to benefit other people. And they are not clones, and they are not cliches. They are the real deal, and they deserve the shine. You know, Sweet Juices 23, J. Jig Cicero, Violet Music. I am Martina Lynch out of Be More. These artists are really doing the work that it takes. And yes, they are sexy, and they're using it to get ahead, and they're using it in moderation to get the word across. Not only am I beautiful, but I'm sexy, and I'm intelligent, and I have what it takes to be a boss lady. And that is what Jazzy B is another one. I really truly feel that they have the integrity that it takes to solidify themselves in the arena of entertainment, but they use what they have in moderation to say, yes, I may be a pretty face, I may have boobs, that's not an evil word, but I am a MC, and I'm taken seriously for my craft because I own it, and I dictate where my brand goes. And so you need to open up your horizons, Eve, because you're missing out on a totally awesome population of women who are independent, who are in control of who they are, and who own the empire and will never have to settle for the hired help. Deuces.